Hey guys, Pilgrim here. Today is a pretty nice day on this market holiday, sitting outside. I just wanted to talk about my future in trading, why I started trading, and what my plans are for YouTube going forward. I released my first video today. It's a ranting video. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. Just me talking about risk, reward, and some of the psychology of trading and the trading mindset that I have. But I'm actually a beginner in trading. I started trading about 9 months ago. Back at the beginning of August, I found trading in July. So I'm still really in the beginning stages of my journey as a trader. And I haven't, I haven't proved profitability yet. I'm getting there, and my statistics are looking very good. I started another small account challenge 2 weeks ago, and I have a 60% accuracy with a 3-to-1 profit to loss ratio, which is a lot better than when I've done the small account challenges in the past. So I'm looking forward to see if I can maintain that type of profit loss ratio and that accuracy, maybe a little bit higher. Maybe if I can get it up to 70%, that would be even better. But I'm really still in the beginning stages of my journey. I wouldn't say I'm a beginner though. I would say I'm more of a intermediate to advanced trader. Back in September, I bought the warrior trading courses, September and October. Uh, with Ross Cameron and Warrior Trading, I bought his education program, and I absorbed all of his information like a sponge for a month, 2 months, and ever since, going through all of the content on his website, education portal, and his YouTube channel. And since then, I've spent a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of effort to improve myself as a trader and get to a point where I can start making money consistently. Now, that hasn't been with struggles along the way. I'm the type of person that tends to want to do things very quickly. I funded an account for the first time almost immediately after I started trading, a very small account back in August with Quest Trade at first, just doing 10 shares, 5 shares, and I lost money there. That's when I decided to buy the Warrior Trading courses. And after I bought the Warrior Trading courses, I had a bit of a false sense of confidence. I thought, I can do this. This is easy. Now I have all the information. Now I should be good to go, right? And I really brushed off the emotional and discipline part of trading. I listened to Ross talk about trader psychology. I listened to him talk about how discipline and emotions are one of the most important parts of trading. And I thought that, I'm the type of person that doesn't really have issues with that. I'm a very calm person, very collected person. So I didn't think that that would be an issue in my journey. And yet I ended up funding an account, $1,000 account, 5 times over because I blew it up 5 times. A couple of those times were from holding and hoping. Probably 3 out of the 5 times were from a situation where I found myself holding and hoping. And the rest of the times were just me chipping away at my account with losses, going into a drawdown, going into extended drawdowns. And there came a certain point in my journey where I decided enough is enough. I'm in a cycle where I'm just depositing money into an account and losing it. Granted, it's all money that I can afford to lose. I never put myself into a situation that's going to drain my entire savings. I still have a 9-to-5 job. I work a job on the side. that I make decent money with. And I'm very grateful that I get to live with my family who also support me and help me out. They pay for most of the groceries and most of the household bills. I do pay them for a little bit, and I still have to pay for some of my own things on the side, like car insurance, cell phone bills. And more recently, I I bought a house that I've been renovating with my sister, and we have a tenant moving in June. But that caused a lot of expenses and whatnot. But I managed to save up enough money that I'm not really worried about money at the moment. And since I also live with my parents and they're supporting me, it's not like I have very many bills to pay, especially now with a tenant moving in June. I was paying half of the house expenses while we were undergoing renovation since May 30th of last year. It's been almost a year. But I won't have to worry about that now that the renovations are done. And, I can kind of invest more in myself as a trader if I can prove profitability going forward. But the thing is that $5,000 that I refunded my account with 5 times, it was money I could afford to lose, but it's also money I wish I had right now as I'm continuing my journey as a trader. And now I'm starting a $2,000 account with my small account challenge, and I've really swapped my mindset since then. Back when I first started as a trader, my mindset was more about making money. Now my mindset has swapped to protecting my account balance, and I've been seeing a lot of changes in my trading as a result of that. But as I've said, a lot of those challenges are common challenges that a lot of traders face when they're coming to the markets for the very first time, especially when we're trading small cap momentum. We're basically trading garbage stocks, right? We're the raccoons feeding off the scraps in the market. So these can be very dangerous if you're not careful, and the risk is very high. You can easily lose all of your money trading small caps without a plan, without a risk reward profile, without things to keep you from becoming emotionally compromised and revenge trading, like rules. And it took me up until recently, until I started live streaming back at the end of March, to realize that. And I've been live streaming since March now, and if any of you have watched a significant number of my streams, you can see how my mindset has changed even during the live stream, going from trading many patterns, many setups with less of a focus on quality, more of a focus on quantity to build my metrics. And since then, I've kind of figured out that in the market that we've been having right now, this type of cold market where it's very touch and go, some days we have a sudden spike in momentum, and then other days we have nothing. We're just kind of sitting around waiting for opportunities. But my trading has changed over time to match the market sentiment that we're in. And that's something that I've been realizing more and more as a trader, is trying to elbow through and muscle through hasn't really been the solution. When I first started trading, I was going fast, right? I was learning everything I possibly could, spending hours upon hours watching courses, watching YouTube videos, trying to get the knowledge that I needed, practicing trading, practicing all the setups, trying multiple strategies to see which one suited me the best, small caps, large caps, trading regular market hours, trading after hours, trying different indicators, trying different different patterns. And the longer I've traded, the more that I've felt that I need to rein that in, focus more on quality, focus on a single strategy, focus on building consistency with that strategy. And the reason why I started live streaming at the end of March is for a couple reasons. Of course, many of us, the reason why we pursue trading is because we like the idea of the lifestyle that trading brings. Right now, every morning I sit down at 6:45 and I trade until 10, and that's only three hours and 25 minutes of my time during the day. But the upside, if you're successful, is very high. It carries a lot of risk being a day trader, but the reward can also be very high. The dollar amount that you can gain for your time, assuming that you can be the 1% or the 5% of traders that can become profitable, the potential is limitless, really. You see Ross Cameron trading and he's making millions of dollars a year, but he's doing it trading for only 2 to 3 hours a day, whereas everyone else is working a 9 to 5 job, making not even a fraction of that amount. And trading has work-life balance. It has the profit potential. It has, it's fun. I enjoy sitting down every morning trading. Every weekend, I'm looking forward for Monday to come because I want to continue on that journey and I find it fun. I have a history of playing video games. Ever since I was young, I was very into video games. And I've tried playing some video games competitively with one of my friends for quite a few years before I got into trading. And trading really feels like that. It feels like you're sitting down to play a game every morning, but the stakes are a little bit higher. And I really enjoy that, and I enjoy the learning process that trading brings. Compared to the job that I'm working right now, I went to school, I went to university for accounting, and I'm working an accounting job, a 9 to 5 job, but I don't really enjoy it. When I was younger, I started in software engineering because I liked the idea of doing something related to computers, but it didn't end up working out. And so I switched to business and accounting pretty much because it was a safe option. I knew that I was good with numbers and I could probably be successful in business. But it was never really something that I enjoyed. It was something that I did to make money. And I've always dreamed of being able to be an entrepreneur and find something that I can live off of, that can support me while being my own boss, not having to be beholden to others. And trading isn't the only thing that I have on the side that I'm interested in doing. If I have more time, I would also like to write. I really like writing fantasy and reading fantasy, so I would like to read and write fantasy books. And if trading ends up being a full-time thing for me in the future, then maybe I'll also look to write some trading books as well. But trading, and the reason why I started YouTube is it's to start something that can potentially be a secondary source of income for me. I won't lie about that. And it's also a way to create a community of traders, because I really enjoy being in a community of people who are going through the same things as me. And that's why I like Ross Cameron's community environment in his Day Trade Dash, seeing all of the trade ideas and whatnot. I also like watching other YouTubers that I can trust, that are kind of going through the same things, like Candyman Trader. And when I was looking on YouTube, I noticed that there weren't a lot of people that were live streaming trades or were very trustworthy. I even asked Ross Cameron on his Q&As one time if he had any other sources for traders that he knew were trustworthy and that he could recommend for other sources of information, because there weren't really many other sources. And usually when I'm studying something, I would like to hear a certain topic explained in other words from other people's mouths, because it can be kind of enlightening to hear the same thing said in different ways. It can help you understand things better. And at the time he said no, he really didn't have anyone that he could recommend to talk about trading. And I tried doing my own research to see if there was anyone live streaming that I could trust, and most of them don't share their broker statements. Most of them are acting like a personality rather than a source of information. They have that Lambo energy, I think was the term, right? That they kind of idealize the lifestyle of trading, how they can travel everywhere and travel between states and live the rich life because they're a multimillionaire trader. But I don't think that's the reality for a lot of people. And so I wanted to start a YouTube channel, seeing that sort of niche available that kind of touches on some of the realities of trading. And I have a few core tenets for my channel that I would like to maintain going forward. The first being transparency. I want people who watch my channel to trust the fact that if I'm profitable, that I'm being honest with my actual profitability. I want people to trust that they're getting information from someone who's been in the trenches and who has gone through the struggles that they've gone through, and that if I'm profitable in the future, if I can maintain that consistently, then I'll do what I need to do to reinforce that trust. I'll share my broker statements. I'll share my trading logs. I live stream every day with my P&L, my order entry window, and all that on the screen. The only thing that I can't keep on the screen is the level 2 window. I see some other traders keep level 2 window on the screen, but I think that's against market data regulations. I'd be worried that my broker would come after me eventually if I ever got big enough and I was live streaming level 2 market data. But to the best of my ability and the extent of what I can, I would like to be transparent with my profits, my losses, my winning days, and my losing days. And hopefully be someone trustworthy that people can follow and come to for information. And the second tenet is integrity. Integrity and honesty. I'm not here to sell you something, although I did say that I would like YouTube to be a secondary source of income. It's not like I'm looking to sell anything. I'm not looking to sell courses in the future. I'm not looking to sell out for sponsorships. Whatever I can make from it, great, but I'm not here to be dishonest about what the trading lifestyle is like as someone who is going through the motions to become successful and become profitable. I'm not going to promise that you're going to make millions or shill out on a sponsorship just because I want to make some extra money. That's not really a part of my values. And I see a lot of streamers kind of end up doing this sort of thing, where making money kind of takes precedence over everything else. Feeding the algorithm and getting clicks and views kind of consumes them as they look to grow their channels. That's not really what I'm looking to do. I do want to grow my channel, but I want to do it with integrity and make content according to what I think is important. So that's my second tenet, and my third tenet is community. Starting with the live streams, and maybe later on, if I get enough people, then maybe creating a Discord or creating other community environments just to kind of help out other traders as they're going along in their journey. Now, I do have some other projects on the side, as I mentioned, writing, and I do game on the side with my friend still, and he has his own community, one of my best friends. So maybe I'll end up connecting it to that one day. We'll see. But those are my core tenets in what I'm creating in my journey in the future on YouTube. Integrity, transparency, and community. And probably in the future, I did make a poll. I posted a poll that asks people what they want to see. I don't have very many viewers right now, but I'll leave that up and I'll come back to it when I do have more viewers, or as it gains more traction about the types of videos that people want to see. One person already voted that they want educational content, and I would like to provide educational content to the capacity that I'm not overstepping my boundaries. Like I said, I've only been trading for 9 months, and I do have a lot of opinions about trading so far, but who am I to talk about educational content if I haven't attained the results myself yet? And that's why I chose my very first video to be talking about profit loss ratio and risk reward, because that is something for the past few months now that I've attained enough data to say that this is something that has really turned my trading around since I started using it. That sort of habit of setting profit targets and stops, and that breakout or bailout mentality, and the psychology of how winning trades can be losing trades, and losing trades can be winning trades depending on how you execute them, and the statistics of trading long term. These type of things I feel are important, and they they matter to me, and I feel very strongly about them, and now I have data to back that up. But other topics, I'll release more educational content as I'm confident that I have the data to support what I'm talking about. Otherwise, it's just going to be me basically parroting other people, right? And some people may want that, since the information that I'm getting is from Ross Cameron himself. But at the same time, it could just be a game of telephone. I may misunderstand something that's being said, or maybe I don't explain it correctly because I haven't been in the trenches long enough. But the educational content is something that's going to come with time as I continue in my journey and as I maintain profitability. Right now, our in the first 2 weeks for small account challenge, it's looking good, but we're optimistic. We're not complacent. At any time, that could turn around in a heartbeat, right? Depending on my psychology. If I suddenly have a big loser and I decide to hold in hope in the middle of a trade, I'm pretty optimistic that I won't do that anymore. But you never know, right? Something could happen. Yeah, other things that I might post might be trading recaps, could be short form videos, just reactions to certain things that occur while I'm trading. And maybe in the future I'll make another channel talking about some of the other things that I'm passionate about, like gaming, writing, and I also like anime. For now, it's just trading, but we'll see if we can expand into other areas also. But I think that's going to be it for my ranting for now. That's just what I wanted to talk about, why I started trading, what my plans are for YouTube going forward. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions about the direction I should take my channel, or about any of my other content, feel free to leave suggestions. I'll be reading comments and answering questions pretty much any time. But until then, I'm off for now. I'll be back at it again tomorrow on Tuesday. Since the market holiday will be over, and we'll be back at it trading at 7 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. But until then, take care, stay green, and I'll see you next time.